Well, hello to Arsenal TV fans. This is Alex from Cannon Foyer TV, and my take on the game that happened between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. It was really a game of two halves. I know it's like an old cliche, but we started out the blocks so very quickly, and even though I know my prediction was 2-2 in the end, it's like we scored the two goals. There was a goal by Socrates, a header by set piece, David Lewis from a set piece, and then all of a sudden we started to get all the decisions against us. The game became a little bit scrappy, and really we kind of were played into the hands of Crystal Palace, because once the game was broken up, they had us by the short and curlies. And so in regards to a penalty, which for my opinion, it was a penalty, because you've got Chambers who spread his leg a little bit too wide. And you know, with Wilfred Zaha, with his trickery, even though initially it was given as not a penalty, rightfully so, it was referred to VAR, and we were kind of falling back and they were given the momentum. So fast forward the second half, you've got the club captain who's been subbed off. Really not good enough. I know he's under so much pressure from the social media. I've been reading some of the tweets there, absolutely disgusting tweets there. But as a club captain, his actions were really unforgivable. And so they scored the second goal. Then again, they got the momentum. And then we got the third goal, which was ruled out by VAR. It was just a catalogue of so many different things there. And so where are we? So we draw with Crystal Palace. There's still calls for Unai Emery's head, and they're blaming him for a lot of things. And I know I say this many times, but we just have to give Unai Emery time. Give him time. The only people that really matters in all this situation we have here is the board. And if the reports are right and correct, just Kroenke and the board are going to give Unai Emery time until the end of the season, which for me is right. So yeah, so I think we remain in fifth place behind the likes of Chelsea and Leicester City, and good luck to them guys there. But in regards to Arsenal, we've got to support the team, get behind Unai Emery, the players and the club. Let's remember that Arsenal are historically a classy club. Anyhow, make sure you subscribe to Arsenal TV, fantastic channel, and help Richard on his road to 1,000 subscribers.
Hi guys, thoughts on the Palace game, really shambolic to tell you the truth. When the Xhaka thing happened, I thought the important thing was to win the game. But we didn't win the game, and VAR really intervened in what shouldn't have been a decision that was overturned. The mighty have fallen, really. Arsenal is not what it used to be. I really thought that we were going to, scrape these 3 points that, when we were up 2-0. But what everyone's talking about really is Xhaka, to tell you the truth. The way I feel about it is that really it's not his fault. He was put in a position where he had to be the captain. Unai Emery gave him the captaincy. And that's not a behavior that I would endorse, especially for a captain. And really, in my mind, the captaincy is not what it used to be, the same way it was in the early 90s, mid-90s, late 90s. Captaincy right now is overrated. What I think should happen to Xhaka is, I think that he should be stripped. His captaincy should be stripped from him. He should play only in the cup games. And I think he's finished. As far as telling the fans to fuck off really is something that's inexcusable. As far as the game goes, with all of that, I really thought that we should have won the game being up 2-0. It's mind-boggling to me that Unai Emery has not figured out his best 11 after a year and a half. But there it is, guys. Really disappointing.
Hey guys, this is the Indian Gooner. Actually, I want to talk about the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game. Well, to be true, to be fair, I think the game was decent enough. I accept the 1 point, but the biggest problem that I have is the toxic fans that are actually should not have booed Shaka, but they did, and Shaka's reaction was shocking as well. Just when you believe that you have seen everything in football, someone comes out and surprises you, and I think that's what Shaka did to me. And I think overall the game was decent enough. I expected something more from Arsenal. They did, but VAR intervened, which I think it was completely wrong. So I can't blame Emery for everything. No, if I lose a job, if I think that something is bad happening with me, it's not because of Emery. So please stop blaming Unai Emery for everything. Have patience. If you haven't, go to Chelsea. I go to Chelsea and go to Manchester City. I hear they are hiring fans, and they are hiring influencers as well. So if you guys can influence, go and do that with City. I think you will have a definitely good job, and at least you could make some money out of the hatred that you can spread. I think Arsenal does not need fans like this. It is a moment where the club is falling apart. We all have to stand together and support our club, but we all are ready to blame others, stick our fingers right at Emery, stick our fingers right at the management. You want to say that Ozil should play, you want to say Shaka should get lost. You guys made sure that Shaka lost his cool, and I believe you guys deserved whatever came. I don't accept what Shaka did, but you called for it, you got it, and now you're moaning about it. I'm sorry, I'm not listening anything. So this is what I feel about Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game. I hope everything is fine, Richard. I like your hairstyle, bro.
Hi, this is Arsenal Vlogs here, and I'm passing the message to my friend Richard. My thoughts on Arsenal versus Crystal Palace yesterday. First half an hour, looked really, really positive. David Luiz and Socrates scored the first 2 goals, and I actually thought we were going to have a nice little afternoon. Then what goes and happens, Callum Chambers gives a penalty away. Chambers had a very, very poor game. Was it a penalty? Yes, it was. Crystal Palace scored and got a goal back. And then second half, we pitchinated. What the hell happened in the second half? Seriously. We draw to Crystal Palace. Why did we not game management? Why did we not go and get the third goal, in my opinion? Seriously. You let Crystal Palace bully against Arsenal. It's not good enough, man. Unai Emery's got to go, in my opinion, mate. Seriously. He doesn't even start Torreira. He don't even flipping put Ozil in the team. Emery, mate. Emery needs to fuck off. Seriously. Granit Xhaka, in my opinion. Xhaka, what you did on that football pitch is an absolutely disgrace. Okay? Xhaka, you don't deserve to play for this football club. I've never backed you since you came in. Never did. Xhaka needs to go, mate. Seriously, you are not good enough for this football club. Arsenal need a defence midfielder in January, and they need someone like a Decore or an Ndidi that's going to take this club forward. Xhaka, Emery out, and bring in maybe someone like an Allegri or Carlo Ancelotti. Thank you very much for the message, Richard, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, and we should be doing this very, very often. Thanks.
Hi Richard, so yeah, this is a quick video for the post for you, and a response on what happened on Sunday. Oh boy, where do you start? It's hard to actually put all this into words. Okay, so 2 goals up, quite confident. All of a sudden we let a goal in. It's going to take more than a minute and a half to sum it up, but a draw. We didn't lose. Emery put some of the players in that he felt was the strongest players, and it's back to mentality. We don't have the guts when we're leaking a goal. So something's got to change. I don't know how Emery's going to do it. I think all the speak for Emery to leave is ridiculous, but it's down to tactics. Xhaka should be suspended or fined for what he did. We are a shambles at this moment in time, so I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully we'll get ourselves back again, because we've got Wolves and we've got Leicester. Arsenal, you got a fix up. Simple as that.
Hi, Richard. Thanks for having me on. You know, there's so many talking points about yesterday's debacle that are just going around social media and TV and the radio. Granit Xhaka is not some timid little boy who was being picked on for years in the schoolyard. He's a man. He's supposed to be a man. Even more than a man, he was selected as the captain by Unai Emery. With the captaincy comes leadership, and the best form of leadership is leading by example. If anything happens from yesterday's game, he needs to be stripped of his captaincy, regardless of any apologies. His petulant behavior, there is no excuse for. Absolutely none. Yes, he got a raw deal yesterday with the catcalls and the boos and whatever, because he didn't have that bad a game. But as captain, you have to accept things like that and act like a man, act like a leader. The only argument that I have tremendous amount of trouble with right now is that Xhaka's feelings were hurt. He's only a human. What do you expect? I expect him to act like a captain. I expect him to act like a man.